#YOUTUBE script. Banks don't want you knowing this budgeting secret, 50% more savings. Your bank makes about $4,000 a year off you, and I'm not exaggerating. That's fees, interest, overdraft charges, all that stuff they slip into the fine print. The crazy part? They're literally betting that you'll never figure out the one budgeting method that cuts their profits in half. Think about it. 73% of Americans don't have an actual budget, not a rough idea, an actual system. And Wall Street, they love it. They're counting on it. Because the moment you implement the method I'm about to share, you stop being a cash cow for these financial institutions. You become dangerous to their bottom line. So stick around because today, I'm exposing exactly how they keep you broke and showing you the one budgeting strategy that scares them most. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. The financial system isn't designed to help you succeed. It's designed to keep you dependent. Let me explain what's happening right now. You're probably doing what most Americans do. You check your account. You spend money until it's almost gone. Then you panic and hope your paycheck arrives on time. Maybe you've got a loose idea that you should spend less, but there's no actual plan. No real system. So what happens? You end up paying overdraft fees, an average of $35 each, and the typical American pays them 5 times a year. That's $175 right there. Then there are interest charges on credit cards, subscription services you forgot about, convenience fees at ATMs that aren't your bank's. It adds up to thousands. And here's the part that really gets me. Banks have teams of mathematicians and psychologists whose entire job is figuring out how to make sure you don't have a budget. They design apps that make it easy to spend. They make notifications exciting when you've got money available. They structure everything so that following a budget requires constant willpower and effort. They want it to feel hard, because if it's hard, most people give up. And when people give up, banks win. But what if I told you there's a method so simple, so effective, that once you implement it, you'll never go back? It's called the 50-30-20 rule. And yes, it's that straightforward. But before I break it down, I need to tell you why this method specifically threatens the banking industry. The 50-30-20 rule works like this. Take your after-tax income, that's the money that actually hits your account after taxes come out, divide it into 3 categories. 50% goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, 20% goes to savings and debt payoff, that's it. But here's where it gets interesting. When you use this method, something shifts. You're no longer flying blind. You know exactly where every dollar is supposed to go. And when you know where your money is supposed to go, you stop leaking it everywhere. Let me give you a real example. Say you make $3,000 a month after taxes. 50%, that's $1,500 goes to needs. Your rent, your car payment, insurance, utilities, groceries, the stuff you need to survive. 30%, $900 goes to wants. Your Netflix subscription, eating out, hobbies, entertainment, coffee runs, the stuff that makes life enjoyable. 20%, $600 goes to savings and debt. Credit card payoff, emergency fund, retirement, whatever's crushing you right now. Now, here's what the banks don't want you to understand. When you actually follow this, you're creating boundaries. You're not depriving yourself. You've got $900 a month for fun. That's legit. But you're also protecting yourself. You're forcing yourself to save $600 a month. That's $7,200 a year. Do you know what most Americans have saved? Less than $1,000 for emergencies. One unexpected car repair, one hospital bill, one job loss, and they're drowning in debt. Banks know this. They know desperation makes people take bad deals. But wait, there's more to this method that makes it even more powerful. The reason this scares financial institutions isn't just the saving part. It's the psychological shift that happens when you implement it. When you give your money a job before you spend it, you stop making emotional decisions. You wake up and you don't wonder, can I afford this? You already know. Is it in my 50% for needs? Then I can do it. Is it in my 30% for wants? Then I can do it, but I've only got so much. Is it in my 20% for savings? Then it has to wait. This removes the friction. It removes the stress. And ironically, removing that stress actually makes people more likely to stick to a budget, because they're not white-knuckling it. They're not depriving themselves. They're just organized. Banks make money on chaos. They make money on people who don't know what they're doing. Credit card companies specifically target people who can't pay their full balance because those are the people who pay interest. Overdraft fees target people who don't know their account balance. Even the layout of your banking app is designed to make you spend, not save. It's not an accident, it's a system. And that system depends on you being unorganized. Now, I need to address the real challenge here because implementing this isn't actually hard, but it does require you to do something different. You've got to actually calculate your after-tax income. You've got to actually sit down and categorize your spending. You've got to actually make decisions about your life instead of letting your impulses make them for you. And I'm going to be real with you, that's uncomfortable at first. Your brain is wired to avoid discomfort. So your brain will come up with reasons why this won't work for you. My situation is different. I can't save 20%. My needs are more than 50%. Here's the thing, if your needs are genuinely more than 50%, that's critical information. That means you have a serious problem that needs serious solutions, like finding a lower-cost living situation or increasing your income. The 50-30-20 rule isn't a straitjacket. It's a diagnostic tool. It shows you where you actually stand, and you can't fix what you don't measure. Let me show you how this plays out in real numbers. The average American household carries over $6,000 in credit card debt. The average interest rate on credit cards is right around 21%. So they're paying over $1,200 a year just in interest. That's money evaporating. That's money your bank is counting on. But if you implement the 50-30-20 rule, that $6,000 credit card debt becomes a target. It falls into your 20% category. Suddenly, instead of minimum payments that barely cover interest, you're throwing $600 a month at it. In about a year, it's gone. 1 year. And then you've saved $12,000 in interest over the next few years because you're not carrying that balance anymore. This is what terrifies the financial industry. Not because they want to hurt you, they don't care about you personally. They're terrified because you becoming organized means you becoming profitable. You having a buffer means you're not one emergency away from a payday loan at 400% interest. You knowing your numbers means you're not susceptible to lifestyle creep and stupid financial decisions. You being in control means you're not their customer anymore. You're just someone who uses their bank to move money around, which makes them way less money. So here's what you actually do starting today. Open a spreadsheet or grab a notebook. Write down your actual after-tax monthly income, then list every single expense from the last 3 months. Don't estimate, actually look. Categorize everything into needs, wants, and savings. Add them up, see where you actually are. Then redistribute to 50-30-20. It might take you an hour, maybe 2 if you're really out of the weeds. That's it. That's the whole thing. And look, I know some of you are thinking, this is too simple. This can't be the secret. That's exactly the point. It is simple. It's so simple that people ignore it. People are looking for complicated systems and hidden hacks. They're waiting for someone to give them permission to be disciplined. But discipline isn't complicated. Organization isn't complicated. It's just not as exciting as some crypto scheme or a hot stock tip, so people skip it. And banks keep winning. But you're not going to skip it, because you just watched this, you know how the system works, you know what they're counting on, so start today, get organized. Implement the 50-30-20 rule. Watch your savings grow, watch your stress drop, watch your financial power expand, and most importantly, stop making the banking industry your retirement fund. They're not your enemy, but they're definitely not your friend. Make yourself your priority. That's what this is really about.